So good morning, Adam. I know we just tried to go live, didn't we, on our phones, but that didn't work. But anyway, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. That's the thing about that Facebook Live. I'm sure one day they will try and compete with Zoom and they'll sort it out. I have no doubt about that. But at the moment, it's just not quite there, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's fine. So, Adam, I know some of the people, this recording is going to go into 3 groups this morning. So it's going to go into Step Up to Success, which obviously is our ongoing group coaching program that you're part of. It's going to go into Passion to Pocket. It's also going to go into Mums in Business. So we're going to tailor it a bit to all 3. But just to start with, I know some of the people in Step Up to Success have met you, but most of the other people won't have. So can you just introduce yourself and just let us all know about your background and sort of how you ended up being now down in Devon as an author and all sorts of things?
Well, I've never really taken what you would consider to be a traditional route. So I actually blame the 90s for that, and drugs and alcohol maybe for the first couple of years. But I've always sort of gone for my things that have made me happy. So I've had jobs that have given me quite a lot of money, quite a lot of responsibility. And then I've the next week, after quite volatile in my 20s as well, so a bit of a kick off with a boss. And next week I'm cleaning ovens with a group of friends that I went to school with, because I never see things as being below me. Just because I was a manager one week, it doesn't mean that I can't clean ovens and be a painter and decorator or whatever I need to do that gives me whatever peace of mind or the freedom really to choose what I want to do and things like that. It's always been a part of my life. And then in my early 20s, I started writing. I don't know where it came from. And it came out as poetry. And I would consider myself a poetry dunce. And I've got a distinction level master's in creative writing. And if you give me a poem, it's going to take me a year to decipher what it means. Right. I just don't have that. But at the time, it came out as poetry for me. And then I left school with no qualifications, no GCSEs. So then I thought, it's about time I did something about that. So in my 20s, again, no kids, no responsibilities. I worked for the Samaritans and I worked as a postman, and I started going to night school. And I realized, what, these teachers are all right. It's not like being at school. It's totally different atmosphere. So I got into it. And then that creative writing course, and then my English GCSE, then an access course, and then to university. And all that happened just like one year after another. And my passion for writing moved on from poem. I've not written a poem for a decade plus, longer than that. But it moved on to other things. And then when I was 30, I met my wife, and my wife to be at the time, obviously, and that came absolutely out of nowhere. I was very happy bachelor, and she ruined that. And then so then my writing started to go a little bit towards with my wife there as support. I was able to start looking a little bit about my childhood, and I started writing memoirs and things like that. And my wife would pick out stuff and say, "Well, don't you think that's a bit like traumatic?" And I'm like, "Is it? Oh, right. I never really thought of it like that before." And so then writing really became like this healing tool for myself, which I think the poetry, that was it. Because if you read the poem, then you would see that what it was actually talking about was drugs and drink and trying to find like my sense of identity through spirituality and things like that. And then my children come along, and I started writing for a magazine called Little Tigers, which unfortunately after the first lockdown, because it was a published magazine that was funded by showing events that were going on in Cheshire.
Yeah.
So that went, so it moved to online and all that. But that just eventually we separated when that happened anyway, and that was fine. And then I had all this work, this body of work, and it was called Why Do They Always Shout is what I put it under. And then I got offered the chance to publish it as a book. And it's a very distinctive voice. It's called Creative Nonfiction, and I take the mundane moments from life as a parent and I put a bit of a spin on it and try and bring a lot of humor to the stories. And when we moved, we got an opportunity to do a council house swap from Stockport to Devon, and that was just in between the second lockdowns. I can't really remember the dates or something like that, but we moved in Halloween 2020, what is it, 2020 now?
2020.
All right.
20, it's 20, yeah, because we met,
Right.
didn't we, then? So it's, yeah, 2020. Yeah. When
Right,
you moved,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
2020 then it was, yeah. And that's sleep deprivation, that, by the way, people. So I have no short-term memory. I can tell you a lot about the past, but yesterday, never mind. And then the book was born, an opportunity to do it, and it came down to Devon, and I said to myself, I'm not going painting and decorating anymore. I've always been a stay-at-home dad, by the way, as well. That's something that's been really important for me, to be there for my children, and my wife chasing her academic dreams and things like that. And I've just been quite happy to sort of do my own thing and have my children, and they are the inspiration behind that book. I do write other things as well, but that has been something that I really created that style of writing for myself, that you could pick up that book and you'll know that is my voice. Absolutely.
It's a brilliant book, by the way, everyone. It really is. I absolutely love it. I'm just about to read it again for the second time, but I love it. Adam is a superb writer, so do get the book. It's on Amazon, isn't it, Adam?
It's on Amazon. Yeah. Why do they always shout? A Dad's Perspective. I've got a website in the same name, but that I've been learning a lot about SEO and about how to build websites correctly, and no one will ever find that because I've not done it right, but I'm learning. So we moved down to Devon, and being around the water, the fresh air, swimming in the sea, all that sort of stuff, it really sort of energized me to get, because I'd already been offered to write the book in March 2020 then.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'll smash it out. I'll get this done by the end of summer. But what I didn't realize was how lockdown was actually going to affect us in our home. And to be fair, I spent most of the time drinking sparkling wine and listening to Fleetwood Mac on repeat. And the kids were feral, and we thought we've got to rein this in. And so then when we come down to Devon, as I say, it all just sort of fell into place. And as I said I wasn't going to do any painting and decorating. I said I was going to get a job as a writer, and it was going to be easy. And I just started 2 months ago at a job that someone told them about me. I met the woman, and I started the next week.
Brilliant. So you very good manifestation and very good goal setting and planning and believing, haven't you? You've really followed that path.
So what happened was I made the decision. So I made the decision. I'll just be honest about it. Me and the wife had a bit of a kick-off about something, and I realized just how vulnerable I was to being left with nothing. We didn't have a big kickoff or anything. Something just clicked in my head, and I thought, you know what? If something did happen, what would happen to me? If she said, right, get out, or something like that, it didn't happen. It didn't get to that. And I thought, I've got nothing here. All my life, or too much of, you think about like that, like a life wheel, with all the things. I was like really good on the home side and on the hobbies possibly, but actually when it came down to being able to pull in an income and have some independence away from the house, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. So I said, right, I clicked in my head and I said, right, I'm going to get this writer's job. Now's the time, I'm ready. And a month later, I was started a job.
Brilliant. Tell us about your job. What is it you're actually doing?
So I got contacted by someone, a lady called Amber Leach, and she's a renowned wedding photographer. She's got a great story herself, but she enjoyed, obviously lockdown ruined 85% of her revenue for wedding photographers, and all that sort of stuff gone. So she had some business coaching skills behind, in the bag sort of thing, and she grew her business organically and things like that. And so she did some business coaching, and she saw that 20% of her clients were not implementing any of the stuff. And she said, why? What's going on? Can I help? Is there something wrong? And as it turns out, they were just time poor. They're already doing so much within their business, which is not a criticism, just a fact. And they couldn't implement social media, digital marketing strategy, blah, blah, blah. So they were just sporadically chucking stuff out and things like that. And then wondering, and then being annoyed and getting frustrated when they don't see any of the reach or engagement improving, because they're not, building that trust and things like that with their brand. And so she went, she went from one-to-one to one-to-many, then almost back to one-to-one, offering a done-for-you service, which is now called Established by Her. And she was looking for, she wanted some women to come and work for her, basically. And she was struggling to find somebody to fit these roles. And then she found out about my work and read my work, and my main target audience is women, even though it was designed for men originally, but they don't give a hoot. And it's only the women that read it, and the mums or nanas or anyone. I've had people buy the book who have only got dogs.
Yeah.
And they've contacted me and said, I don't have kids, but I am laughing my head off because I've got nieces. I've got, they know the crack with it. So so then she contacted me through this person. So I contacted Universal Credit and said, I'm in Plymouth. I know nobody. Can you help me? And they said, yeah. And they put me on this
brilliant,
this thing, which was it wasn't for me originally, but they let me get on it. And because I was new to the area and I had no support. And then literally within the 3 weeks, like signing up for the first week, met the guy, he was cool. And he said, you don't just want a job. We're going to try and find you something that suits you and your skills. And I said, this sounds good to me. And then 3 weeks later, I met Amber. We had a 3-hour chat in her office. And I said to her, right, why don't you just give me a brief? Give me a little, because it's copywriting.
Yeah.
Right, so basically, and I've never done that officially. I said, give me a brief and I'll just go at it. And if you don't like it, then it means that we're not a good match. Did it. And there we go.
Oh, that's amazing. But again, I think you've got such an amazing mindset. We actually met actually through Utility Warehouse, didn't we? Because I think that was an advert you saw, and that's how we originally met. But as you know, I'm really supportive of anyone making money out of their passions and following. Life's too short, isn't it? Life is definitely too short to do stuff you don't want to do.
Utility Warehouse, for me, I'm still an advocate for it. I'm no longer a partner because I couldn't do it, because I ended up pursuing, the book came out and then other things came. But the problem that I had with Utility Warehouse at the time is that I was chasing money.
Yeah.
And so people can smell desperation on you. It's like, woof.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, and so that couldn't work for me because I was chasing the money and doing all these almost like manipulative adverts almost, which people see right through.
Yeah.
And but it was a great learning opportunity anyway to understand more about myself, and meeting you since has only brought more information away.
And that's what I love about life, though. It is connecting, it is meeting people. And if you have a really clear vision of what you want life to be, and you keep meeting people, you will get there, because you find people on the way like you have that will absolutely help you get that goal, which is just incredible. So this recording is going to be going into the Mums in Business group as well. So good morning, Mums in Business that are watching this. Tell us a little bit about the sleep journey part of your business as well, and how that came about, and what's your plans with that, because I think that might be very, very important to some of the people watching this.
Well, I'm trying to change the language a little bit about sleep and about the importance of sleep, because as a youngster I didn't value sleep, because I call myself a recovering overthinker. So the chimp paradox, the book and the Audible and stuff like that, just research that yourself. I've got the book, got the Audible, listen to it 100 times. It's not about sleep, it's about understanding the different parts of your brain and who's talking and when, and who's the strongest. I won't go into too much detail after research myself, but as a recovering overthinker, it changed my life. And so I started to understand a little bit more about what was going on in my own head at night when I was trying to get to sleep and stuff like that, but all that meant nothing when you've got children that don't sleep. It doesn't matter. It does not matter how well prepared or how good your techniques are to helping you get to sleep, because that disruption just comes. Both my boys suffered with glue ear, and this was recurring ear infections that they were experiencing constantly. And for the first 2.5 years of my oldest boy's life, we didn't know that's what it was. And so we was pushed to the very edge of insanity. And I don't mean that lightly.
No.
I mean, this was hard slog. And then when Ovi was born, my other boy, and he started to display the same things, luckily we knew we was better prepared, but it was still tough. It was still really tough. So, but we've done so many schedules, bed routines. We've changed different beds. Which way should the head be facing at night, north or south or what? And apparently north's not good when you're in the northern hemisphere, whatever. But, they're both facing west right now when they go to sleep. The best it's ever been now. It's the best it's ever been, and it's nothing to do with north and south. It's to do with the routine that we finally got in once their ear infections was sorted and they had the adenoid removed. It was a full experience, but they had really negative connotations surrounding bed and sleep. So we've had to really work on that over the years. And so I've posted sporadically over the years about these things, and there's a lot of it in the book. Why I like to, have a laugh in the book and stuff like that about it, even though it was no joke at the time. So I was discovering a little bit about affiliate marketing and about how to set these websites. So I was looking at these websites thinking, how are people doing these and all that? And I was seeing some ones that were rubbish. I thought I could do better than that. But then I thought, what could I actually do and offer that is of service, that is something that I'm passionate about, and something that I know that people need help with, and something that I could potentially sell some products on there and things like that, but it just be part of the story. And it's not here's a product page with all products on for you to buy. No, it's like, this is the product that we literally did use, or someone else has told me about it, and then and then I'm writing true actual stories and posts, or whatever you want to call them, on this page, and it's called Better Sleep Products. Got a group called Better Sleep Journey, and they have like Better Sleep Kids, Better Sleep You, and your Better Sleep Journey. They're the main things on there, and it's about helping adults, first of all, to value sleep. That's the first thing that you have to do, no matter what is going on with your children. In my point of view and through my experience, you have to take care of yourself first, and sometimes that means not watching the telly for 3 hours a night, or whatever it is that you do. Not pursuing your passion, maybe not even going to the gym or something like that, even though I will advocate for health and fitness and being outside, of course, but sometimes you just got to go to bed. And even if that's 3 hours sleep, and then you're up with the kids at 1 o'clock, and then you're dealing with the nightmare of it all night, and maybe you get another hour or two, something like that, because that 3 hours is, you needed that 3 hours, absolutely. And then maybe the next day you're all right, maybe the next day you have a glass of red wine and you stay up late, a little bit later, or something like that. So Better Sleep Products really is just identifying all these different experiences, and I've got bedtime routines on there, and I've got stuff that absolutely has worked.
That's brilliant.
And it absolutely works for adults as well. Little things. So if someone's staying on their phone till 12 o'clock at night, I will never say to them, go cold turkey and don't look at your phone, or don't have it in bed. No, try and go at 11 o'clock and then work 15 minutes back every night after that. And after 2 weeks, you could be very surprised that you're off your phone at 9 o'clock. And then you are on your way to setting your mindset to sleep, to be asleep at 10. And then you've got 2 hours that have disappeared. And that's 2 hours sleep extra that you're getting. And this is whether you've got kids or not. This is just good.
I must admit, my children were not, well, I think I was a pretty rubbish mother, really. So Roxy, when she was born, I had no idea what I was doing. I was already 40, my life was already my life, and then this little person comes along, but I couldn't let her cry. So she had really disturbed sleep, and I literally went for 3 years. She didn't go through the night properly till she was 3 years old. And I remember that zombie of a person I was, trying to run all these businesses and do all this stuff on no sleep.
I'll just say there, listen, they want a bad parent. That is acting to your children's needs.
Well, no, it is
responding to your children's needs.
It
might, some people will criticize it, in that you're supposed, old school people saying that kids should cry out and stuff. My boys, we co-slept with them. It was a flipping nightmare, right? It was a nightmare. But they are very emotionally secure children when it comes down to wars. They've still got, a million issues and stuff like that. But they needed our support. Imagine if we would have just left them in the room to cry.
I know, I couldn't do that. And then of course I had Eric, so I just started getting sleep, and then Eric was born 4 years after Roxy, and he was the same, because I was the same, it was, I was sort of imagined I'd have this miracle baby that would go 10 hours, but of course he was the same. But I must say they both sleep wonderfully now, and they are wonderful kids, and it's worth it.
I wonder whether that's the grounding, you see. It's like, so that's, they get that security, and they know that they can reach out and they're not going to be rejected away from the bed or anything like that. We've shown, so now this is watertight. Watertight at 6:15. We're doing stories, the lights are chilled. I might have some classical on the Alexa. I was never really into technology as an adult and stuff, but Alexa's a fantastic tool to have. I don't care whether Amazon is a Bond villain, I don't care. It's a great tool. And so then we have this like relaxing 6:15 to 6:45, and we try and do one little technique is the kids aren't in bed when we do stories, because bed is for sleep. Bed's not for stories, and it's not for chatting and asking me questions about the invention of chocolate, right? It is for when they actually get in that bed and the covers are on. That's it. Good night. I love you. This day is finished. See you tomorrow. And then I just close the door basically, and I walk out the door, and they are asleep by 7 o'clock pretty much every night.
It's brilliant. That's amazing. Well done. No, well done. I know there's lots of people watching this that will,
but they can still potentially wake up 100 times in the night, depending on where. I tell you what, if there's a full moon, forget about it. They turn into wild beasts, and they get really sophisticated, difficult dreams and all this sort of stuff going on. And it's always around this full moon, and it can last for a couple of days, and then they settle down again, and then they usually sleep through till 6:30, 6:15.
Oh, that's brilliant. Adam, this has been awesome chatting to you. I could chat to you for hours, and I know we do chat for hours when we do speak, but it's absolutely brilliant. So thank you so much. Obviously this is going to be a recording. I'm going to pop this in the group now. Would you go back into the groups and just put in your websites and everything underneath each post, so that everyone can find you and follow you? And I know that wanting to follow you on that. And please, again, big shout out, do buy the book, Why Do They Always Shout, on Amazon. It is absolutely brilliant. It'd be a great Christmas present actually for parents. So there we are. That's my recommendation for a Christmas stocking present, is go and get that book. Adam, brilliant. I know that you're in, like I say, Step Up to Success, so we'll catch up with you on Thursday in there, which is brilliant. Thanks very much for your time, and have an awesome day. All right, thank you. Cheers. Both the kids are off ill, so I'm going to go and get them outside in the fresh air. Yeah, absolutely. Lovely day. Brilliant. Speak to you soon. Thanks, Adam. See ya. Bye. Bye.